Good morning, 4303. Just so you know, we're spending all week generating ideas for writing. So for today, we're spending day 3 by generating ideas or thinking of times when we had conflicts, troubles, or problems. So today you're making a list of the moments you remember where you had a conflict or a trouble or a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And again, I'm setting up my notebook the same way because we're going to make a list. We'll choose one, we'll sketch it, and then we'll flash draft. So, thinking of all the conflicts, troubles, and problems I had, and so far this week, this was the topic I really had to think the most about and really hard. So you might spend a little bit more time thinking today, and it's okay if you have trouble coming up with them. Try to get as many ideas down as you can. So the first conflict I can have, or I'm going to jot down that I thought of recently happened when I was at the grocery store. And the guy behind me was not staying 6 feet. He was super close to me, and you're supposed to be social distancing, so I was getting really, really agitated. So grocery store, social distancing. All right. That was a big conflict for me because I'm trying to follow the rules, and this guy was making that difficult for me. Another conflict I had, a small moment I remember really well, was when I got in a fight with my sister on Christmas. Right, a tiny moment in time, maybe an hour, right, a small moment. Ooh, last week I was having a lot of trouble on Thursday getting Google Meet to work, and it was really frustrating. It was a problem for me. So I could say Thursday on April 30th, Google Meet wasn't working. Okay. And that's a good small moment. I remember some actions I did. I remember some dialogue, right? Now I'm going to think maybe of a few more. Another trouble I had was 2 years ago. I had to look for a new job. And I'm just going to try to pick one small moment from that when I was searching for openings, right? Because that's a pretty big category. I was looking for a job for more than a day and more than an hour. So I'm going to pick specifically when I was searching jobs one day. Okay. Another small moment. Well, I have lots of small moments when students have been disruptive students. I could pick one from this year in our class. I could pick one from the year before or the year before that. Okay. Now it's time to choose which one I want to plan to draft today. So because it happened recently, I'm going to stick with my problem at the grocery store where the man was not social distancing. Okay, I'm going to plan it across 3 boxes, the beginning, middle, and end. If you want to do beginning, middle, and end and make it 4 boxes, that's okay too. Whatever works for you. You might have 2 spots in the middle of your story. So now I'm thinking, all right, in the beginning of my story, well, I was in the grocery store for a while, but the story is mostly happening when I had to wait online because the line was wrapped around the grocery store. So first, I was trying to enter the line. Enter the long line. Trying to find the entrance. All right, and I'll kind of draw. There's the aisles in the grocery store. The line was wrapping around them and going all the way around here, and you had to go this direction, so I had to get in line over here. But meanwhile, you had people going this way and going this way, and you're supposed to keep 6 feet away from each other. It was a disaster. So once I was able to get on the line, I was all the way in the back with the cart, right? There's me. I had my cousin. She was coming back from getting something. And I remember texting her saying, hurry up, because the line was moving pretty quickly. So that was a text I sent. And then after that, or the main problem of my story was this guy was right behind me and he kept bumping into me with his cart. And it said, stay 6 feet away. There was duct tape on the floor. So maybe I'll draw that. And they were 6 feet, right? Supposed to be 6 feet. So I'm right here with my cart. The man is supposed to be here, and he's right up here. He kept bumping me with the cart, so I kept glaring at him. Maybe I'll draw that facial expression. I have a mask on my face, but I was giving him like the glare eyes. He kept bumping into me, and I didn't know if the cart was dirty or if it had the coronavirus on it. And I just kept, I had a lot of internal thinking, so I might add some internal thinking. Okay. Now I'm going to go on to flash draft my story. Okay, so I'm thinking about the beginning, middle, and end. So I could start off as I entered the long, dreadful line. Someone behind me on crutches stood in my way. This was the guy behind me. He was with a group of other guys, and they were looking through the freezers in that aisle, and they were just being really close to everybody, and I think a lot of people were staring at them and making them uncomfortable. So someone behind me on crutches stood in my way. I just waited. Finally, the line moved, and I felt someone behind me. I remember kind of very slowly trying to peek around, so I'll just say I tried to look sneakily. He bumped me with his cart. Ugh, I was mad that my jacket was dirty. My jacket. Thought I'm going to have to wash this. And then the line started moving quickly too. I remember I was by the frozen pizzas. So the line moved up again, and I was worried that my cousin wasn't going to be back with what she went to the other part of the grocery store to get. So I texted. I texted my cousin. I felt something behind me again. My cousin was coming up the aisle before she could even read my text. My cousin was coming up the aisle, and I had a look on my face. Again, I was bumped. Okay, I'm going to end my story there because that's kind of where the suspense was building up. I was really mad, and I just kept turning around looking at him. Maybe if I choose to write about this story, I might go back and add more. But again, for today, make sure you're making a list of all the troubles, problems, conflicts you've had maybe recently that you remember well. Pick a really small moment for it. This moment was actually probably only about 10 minutes of my time, and I'm able to stretch a lot out to write this story. Okay, I'm excited to see what you come up with for this. Good job, writers.